Welcome back to Davidson Handyman. Today I have a customer whose vinyl siding all the way around the house became loose. And the reason it became loose was because the starter strip underneath was too high. So I don't know if the vinyl stretched or if it was just installed improperly. I am not a vinyl siding expert, so if you are, please don't judge me. But what I'm doing to mitigate this is I'm pulling the nails from the starter strip and I'm reinstalling it about 3/8 of an inch lower. And the trick to this is making sure that I'm not hitting the brick at the same time. So right now everything seems to be fitting still nicely right at the edge of the brick. So if you have vinyl siding that's kind of loose and flapping around and you can't get it to latch into this starter strip by stretching the bottom of your siding down, see there's a little lip here, and that goes behind the lip here, and that holds it in place. And there are tools that you can use, siding tools, that help pull this down to get that in there. But if it's just like a huge gap and there's just no way that this is gonna reach or clip, then one of the solutions you could do would be to just pop some nails on your starter strip and lower it down. And I'm just lining it up with the bottom, a little bit beyond the bottom edge. That way, as I pull it over and stretch it around that starter strip, I know it'll latch in place. If you don't want to come too far, because then your siding will stretch and then it'll just look like that and it'll look terrible. You want it to be able to curve all the way around and still have that nice clean cut edge. But you also don't want your siding doing this, because that's a good way for the wind to rip it off your house and cause bigger problems. So that is what I'm doing today. I hope this helped you if you have this kind of issue. It doesn't take a lot of money, it just takes time and effort, and a pry bar, a hammer, and some galvanized roofing nails. These are a little short. I'd like to use 2.5 inch, but these ones work just fine. And I'm just going in and nailing, every foot or so, every 12 to 16 inches, somewhere around there, I'm putting a nail through that little hole in the starter strip. And then after the starter strip is in and I feel comfortable that everything is lined up, then I'll go and stretch the siding and clip it into place. So hope this helps. Thanks for watching. One of the things I forgot to mention, as you're nailing this starter strip in, just like when you nail your actual vinyl siding in, you never want to hammer this nail down super tight. You always want to leave a small gap so that the siding can flex with the seasons and the heat changes. And that'll avoid buckling, cracking, or separation. So just something to note when you're putting these nails in. Leave a little bit of space. And that'll do you. Good luck. Just to show you, now that it's all wrapped up, see, nothing's coming off. It's nice and tight. Everything is clipped in. It's looking good. That's what your final product should look like. Your siding should not flap off of your house at the bottom. It should, technically it's where everything starts. That's why it's called a starter strip. You put that in, you build your siding, and then you side up. But sometimes you gotta work in reverse. So there you go. Thanks again for watching.